This is a quick demo of a custom navigation mesh generation in Omniverse and using it for the path planning. I wanted to create this video as an example. We're using the brownstone from the NVIDIA assets because it looks pretty good. It's well rendered and it has multiple levels, stairs, etc. in the environment. So we're going to create a capsule. This capsule is the only addition we're really going to make to this environment, and it's mostly to set a human-like scale so we can see what the radius and height should be. We'll also remove all the doors because people can walk through the doors, so when we're creating the navigation mesh. And those stairs are pretty narrow, so we're going to match that agent radius to something that could go up the stairs. We'll open up the extensions. You could have Git cloned or zip file downloaded directly. There's a couple of examples, explanations of how to use the code base for the navigation mesh. And since this is a custom one, it's not based on the Omniverse internal one, you should have access to all the features that you would like. The settings are pretty important. You should increase the cell size and the cell height to begin with, and make sure to click the Set Settings button. This will prevent any memory issues if you have a really large model. Like this brownstone is in centimeters instead of meters. And we set the world, select the world, assign the mesh. The assignment will include all the geometry. We're going to select our capsule and then just move our nav mesh settings to match what our capsule radius and height was. And we'll look at the step size, match the step size as well, and then we set the settings. Now we can click Build Nav Mesh. The nav mesh is built. We click Create Mesh, and that's just a visualization, so you can kind of see that blue nav mesh. Once we hide the walls are still included in the nav mesh. We're just hiding them for visualization. And we can drag and drop these capsules into the start and end prim, and then click on Get Start End Path. That creates our path. We'll just move up the path a little bit higher so it's easier to see. And you can select things like the dishwasher and then path plan directly to that. So basically any prim, as long as it has the XYZ coordinate, you can do the path planning. So I'll hide the nav mesh itself and just use the visualization of the green path. Since the stairs are a little narrow, we made the agent radius narrower. If you increase the agent radius and you rebuild the nav mesh, it'll make the nav mesh more centered on the staircase. And then when you rebuild your path, the path will have a little bit of a buffer away from the hand railing on the staircase and it'd be a little bit more even. So that's really it. That's the extension. The code can be used directly. You don't really need to use the extension. You can just import it. And as you move around any of your prims, you can just keep updating the path. So if you were to do this in the play mode, you would be able to query the path every step with plenty of time to spare. I hope it's helpful for someone. And I'll do a little dev tutorial later on this project.